What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Coi Leray's second album, Coi. Coi Leray, rising rap star, has gone through a lot online, critically, populace-wise, and yet I think this is like the victory lap moment for Coi Leray and kind of a validating moment for her career. You know, really maligned early on, makes XFL freshman, doesn't acquit herself well in the freestyles, gets a lot of hate. Some of it's just misogynistic hate, but also gets hate for having a famous father and things of that nature. But people are hating, you know? And you get the debut album last year, Trendsetter, which isn't too good. You know, I thought Twin and M was pretty solid, but otherwise it was just okay. And I think the Coi Leray haters were sitting pretty at that point, right? And yet, and I think an important note about this too, Coi Leray, one of many female rap stars at this point. It's not special to be a female rap star anymore. It's normal, which is awesome, of course. And I think people don't feel the need to hold up anyone anymore because there's so many people to take that spot, take that place. But yet, Coi Leray, to her credit, did not stand idly and really, I think, seized the pop moment with, of course, the lead single to this album, Players. Came out the end of last year. Top 10 hit. People know it. Major TikTok hit. Massive track. And it's a massive track because it is a textbook example of what's going on in pop music right now, which is new pop songs are, in fact, just old pop songs. This started in rap with stuff like sample drill. It's now present across rap and across pop. Think of the BB Rexa remix of Eiffel 65's Blue with David Guetta, the I'm Blue remix, whatever it's called. Massive track. Think of, there's so many, there's so many stuff, right? Nicki Minaj has a big hit off the same trend. You're seeing it all the time. Coi Leray using Grandmaster Flash The Message as her what's old is now new again twist. Pretty inspired, I have to say. And also, I think The Players is a great song. It's a banger. To have that be our lead-in to the Coi Leray second album, I was like, okay, there's some juice here. Let's see what the kind of album is. And what happened is Coi Leray doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on this trend. And she has so many high-profile samples on Coi, but also, to her credit, sounds great. She comes out guns a-blazing on this album and sounds awesome. And when you have these big A-list expensive samples the way Coi does, I don't know, it's a pretty good package. I liked Coi quite a bit, and I think it's really cool to see her really take her career in her own hands in this way. You know, whether these songs become massive hits, I'm not too sure, but they're certainly designed to be hits, and I would not be shocked if any of them became hits. Right off the bat, you have track 1, Bitch Girl, which is a clear sampling and interpolation of Hall & Oates' Rich Girl, which is a song that's famously sampled in general. But Coi comes out fire on that one. She goes super hard. Love it. You know, the second single, or sorry, the second single is track 2, Bops, which I think also goes super hard. I love the beat on that when you have the switch up alongside Coi's flow switch up. That one's great. Then you have track 2, Make My Day, with David Guetta sampling Pump Up the Jam, another huge sample. It just really grabs you. You know, of course, Players that just went into. Then you have My Body, which is, I think, just an okay song, but it's also a big sample. You know, you have It's My Party by Leslie Gore, another massive reference point, you know. Get Loud, the horns, the hand claps, super hard flow. I think a really funny line, like, what was it, like, something, it's on fire, tell that motherfucker Bernie. Love it. You know, that one goes great. Then you have Fuck It with the PH. And what is that sample? None other than Daft Punk's Technologic hook, specifically. But Coi gives you a hard flow once again. Love it, you know. Spend It with Saucy Santana, nice feature. The synth line on that, honestly, gives you some Doja Cat vibes. That the way that song is made. The outro in particular is really catchy. Don't Chat Me Up with Gigs. definitely a different like kind of flow, different like inflection, especially on the hook from Coi. And I think the background vocals are nice, but a Gigs feature, UK rapper Gigs, of course, UK OG, definitely didn't see that coming. That's super cool, and I think Gigs fits the song well, surprisingly. Then from there, On My Way, slowed down track, weak repetitive hook, don't really like it. Running Up right after that as well. I think the beat's just kind of weak. This like 2-track like auto-tune stretch, I think, is definitely the weakest part of Coi. We'll not be going back to those songs. Then, of course, we have No Angels featuring Lola Brooke. Amazing feature. Lola Brooke's so hot right now. People know it. Don't play with it. I think the song's just okay. I would have liked it to be a bit bigger, even if it's a big collab in theory. But then right after that, you have Man's World with James Brown, because, of course, it's a big-time James Brown sample, but Coi doesn't, fade out. She really grabs that song once again. Black Rose, I think, is pretty interesting because the guitar is super noticeable on that. Basically a rap rock track, we hadn't really heard Coi do that before. Definitely interesting. I think Radioactive with Skillabang, that one's a bit messy and all over the place. I think that song is just a miss, honestly. But Come and Go, the last song, the closer, it's sentimental. Lyrically, I get it, but the auto-tune kind of took me out of it. I don't like that song too much either. But the songs I like on this, I really like. And I think it's just a massive step forward from Coi Leray from just a year ago with Trendsetter. And it's exciting. Now, whether it's a bit gimmicky to rely on these big samples, of course, having your label be able to front you the ability to use such high-profile samples, inherently there's some privilege to that kind of craft. I think that's obvious. But I think Coi sounds good. She goes hard, and she's fun. She just did the BET Awards performance of Players, and she had the names of all these female MCs from the past and present. Really cool homage. Of course, what's the hook? Girls are players too. I think Coi is a really fun artist at this rate, and I think we'd like to see a hit from her that isn't an obvious homage, an obvious sample. That being said, I think we'll take what we have right now, and I'm pretty happy about Coi. But let me know, how do you feel about Coi? Do you think it's a big step forward for her the way I do? And for more rap reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.